Hello, it's time for another episode of Discipleship Today. My name is Bob Benson. I pastor Christ Lutheran Church in Bemis Point. We've been talking about what discipleship is, how it happens, that the best way for it to happen is organically letting God walk people into your lives into your life that need discipled. And we all need discipled. That's the really neat thing. What we tend to do is gather people around us who we like to hang out with. And I don't think that's what God's doing. I think God will, occasionally that happens, but I think God will walk people into your life that need discipled, who you wouldn't necessarily just automatically hang out with. And in those situations, one of the first things that has to be done is there has to be a level of trust. And sometimes that takes being very vulnerable with people. There are not a lot of people that pastors tend to let inside their circle. But I have a couple of guys, I have a handful of guys that I meet with every week who understand where I'm coming from, and sometimes that takes some vulnerability, that takes some building some trust. They won't share deeply with you until you share deeply with them. And it's in those situations where you can actually build a godly group of people who are continuously praying for you. And I think we all need that. There's a couple of other pastors that I meet with on a weekly basis who are completely vulnerable with me, and I'm completely vulnerable with them. And in that, we've built this trust that everything that happens within our discipleship circle is confidential. And we need that. And they need that. And they need to know that that's what's happening. Made some mistakes early on in my ministry and said some things to some people that I shouldn't, and it got shared, and it was hurtful. Hurtful both ways. And we want to make sure that we don't do that we're trustworthy people, and that who we're sharing with is also trustworthy. But that takes stepping over that line and being completely vulnerable with them. Sharing our struggles. And yes, I'm going to tell you that all pastors have some struggles. It happens. We are human. We are not Christ-like yet, but we're trying to get there. Just like every congregant, every member of our congregation, we struggle with some things. And to say that here in this format, I'm trusting you that you won't go around saying, oh, hey, all those pastors are sinners too. I don't think that's a revelation to a lot of people, but it could be a revelation to some people. But I'm trusting you, and you should therefore then be trusting us to do the right things for the right reasons with the right motivation and in a loving way. I've just seen recently, we need to be winsome so that we can win some. And how do we do that? Well, that's the balance that we all struggle with. We need to love on people and then let them love on us. There's so many times that you're pouring out. And when somebody tries to pour in, there's this defensiveness that comes up. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to trust you guys. You should be able to trust us. So for Discipleship Today, my name is Bob Benson. Thank you for taking the time to watch.